Hello, everyone. Welcome back to another interview. I'm here today with JP, who is a wonderful sound engineer and electronic musician. And I'm so excited for this conversation. We're going to be talking about reverse engineering sounds. We're going to be talking about JP's journey learning synthesis and sound design, and just generally about how you've been opening up new directions for yourself in your music making and
Mhm,
your creativity. So,
mhm.
thank you for being here.
Yeah, my
Do you want
pleasure.
to start off just by giving us a quick intro to who you are and maybe what you do?
Yeah, absolutely. My name is Jean-Patrice. I'm in the electronic world. I'm known as Feek, which is a moniker for music that ranges from ambient electronic to techno and what we call minimal house. And I've made a name for myself in that scene for over 25 years now. Ranging from playing local festivals in Montreal to eventually touring the world and building bridges with Europe and Asia, where I perform on a regular basis. And I guess that's me.
Yeah. So you're an interesting this spotlight series for people who don't know what this is all about. The Learning Sound and Synthesis
Right.
Spotlight series is an opportunity where I get to hang out with the amazing people who are inside of my program, Learning Sound and Synthesis, and just talk to them about, what that journey has been like for them getting into modular synthesis, learning more about sound design. And the underlying goal, there's two. The first one is to celebrate them and their accomplishments and their work. So if you're tuning in live, please help me do that as this goes on. And the second thing is to pull back the curtain a little bit and offer some insight to you, people who are watching, you know, about how they get from A to B. Because a lot of the time we see someone who's just like making amazing music and doing all these cool things. And it can be so hard to understand, like, how did you go from getting started to where you are now? So that's really a big motivation behind why I do this. Now, JP, you're kind of an interesting um, person in this situation because you had a lot of experience, as you just said. You 25 years, you've been making music, doing tech, playing techno, playing all over the world. You had a lot of experience before you came into the learning sound and synthesis community. Can you talk a
Yeah.
little bit about why you were motivated to go back to school, so to speak, and deepen your deepen your knowledge?
Well, I mean, I love to say that my professional development was a bit of a spaghetti mess because I'm this uh I think I represent a lot of electronic music that are in the techno world because a lot of us have decided to do the DIY approach of learning everything ourselves. And that's the case for a lot of people that make electronic music. They just feel adventurous. They feel that it's empowering to have all these tools that can create the music that you dream
Yeah.
of doing. And my first experience with electronic music making was in 1990. A friend of mine had a studio and had all these equipment, and we did some ambient back then. But we had to fast forward to the late 90s when I started really experimenting with gear and getting quickly gigs. And fast forward to now, I mean, until this year, I had never ever had private classes or went to school. And ironically speaking, there's a private school in Montreal called Musique Technique who offers music production classes for over a year, which is a professional trade skill school. And I gave classes there for mixing and mastering and production. And besides that, I've never taken classes, which to me felt a little bit silly because, you invest, the price of a car and equipment. And a lot of people that I know have studios with synths and modular and, the 100% of the money investment goes into gear and 0% goes into self-education. And last year I decided that 2024 would be a year where I would invest into myself and actualize. I'm not sure if it's an English word, but putting to myself like a level of education that I deserve for the skills that I have that I've been earning myself, but I need to polish that stuff. So I I reached out to you. I know, actually, false story. You reached out to me
Did I?
because I think I was opening all your emails a lot, and then eventually you were like, okay, this guy really wants to join, but he needs this little nudge, right? So you sent me a little message. You said, hey, I think you're tempted, right? And I'm like, yeah, I am. And she's like, come on, just join in. I'm like, really? Sarah is sending me an email? Okay, I have to do it now,
That's so
like,
funny. That's so
yeah.
funny. So I love hearing you talk about this because you're right. I think so many people get into this world as a DIY,
Hmm.
learner and self-taught, and clearly it works. I mean, you're crushing it. You were crushing it before you joined my class. Um, so, it's that's a way that it really can work. And I love hearing you talk about investing in yourself in terms of that education and like refining your skill set. That's hard to do when you're already deep in it. Did you have any feelings of resistance around being already like a touring professional musician and coming into a class, or were you just ready to put that
Oh,
beginner mindset on? How was that?
yeah, big time. As I'm a teacher myself, I teach to people how to do music production. I don't teach what you do. I teach other things like the workflow, how
Yeah.
to, where does idea come from, and so there's this ego thing that was happening inside me where I was like, I was seeing the beginner class and I was just like, oh, I think I'm too advanced for this, and like in the techno world, like there's been this kind of gap between electroacoustics and people that are into techno music where one looks at the other with some kind of suspicion, like that one or the other is doing something wrong. There's like this kind of like point. And but I was really, really fascinated by all the content that you bring and your explanations of the video that I've seen. So there was this resistance. And eventually when I was like, screw it, I'm just gonna do it. And I signed up. Uh that's me just signing up, and be like, okay, let's do this. And then opening up the lesson, I ate them, like ate them like passionately, like over a week. I was just like watching lessons and just like rewatching them again, and then creating things and going a bit crazy and loopy with that. So it's nice when you can just go across the ego and be like, okay, this is actually good for me, and then you just dive in. And when
Right.
I dove in, it was I had, what was my main resistance? You know what it was?
No. What was it?
No, I was afraid that your class would mess up how I perceive music and that my tastes would change.
Interesting.
Yeah,
Very interesting. So what's your experience been?
you change everything.
Did I mess it
It
all up for
happened.
you, JP?
No, you didn't mess it up.
Okay, tell me more.
You
Let's
open
talk
my
about this.
mind.
This is
Yeah, yeah.
very interesting. That's fascinating.
Well, the person that I've been following before you was Omri Cohen,
Yeah, amazing. I
who,
love Omri.
oh my God, I love Omri. And
Shout out to Omri.
we love Omri. So I was following him and learned so much from him. But he has
Mhm.
like a very harmonic approach, with scales and root keys, and it's really ambient, really melodic, and all that. And I really love that. And yours is like you're welcoming dissonance as something amazing, and like and noise as something amazing, and da da da. So it's kind of like it broke certain filters that I had about music appreciation.
Mm,
And instead I'm now interested in the sound itself, which is very close to my uh, audio engineering background and what I do as a mastering engineer. And actually, what I didn't expect is that yes, it changed my music taste, but it actually really boosted my understanding of sound for my engineering side,
right.
because now I've learned to listen critically certain things and be able like, okay, what I'm hearing is this, therefore this is this problem, and I can reverse engineer sound. Like I'm like you know, understanding even more what I do, which is
I love
precious.
that. I love that so much. That's the reason why I approach teaching this topic in the way that I do, instead of saying, here's an instrument, here's a synth engine, here are your tools, go use them. I always go from the bottom up. It's like, let's talk about what sound even is. I don't care if you've been a musician for 35 years. Let's go back to the beginning and remind ourselves about what sound is. How does it work? What happens in our ears and our brains when we hear it?
Mm,
On the lowest level, what is up with an oscillator? What is it doing? When you can start to understand all of that, you kind of gain a superpower, which is this ability to hear sound if it's in your session or out in the world or in your synth, and reverse engineer it. And I'm so happy to hear that you got that from the class. And to be clear for anyone watching, I embrace these things like noise and dissonance, but I don't push them on anyone. What my goal is for you to make the kind of music you want to make. There are loads of people making, melodic and harmonic and, based music and pop music and dance music and everything in between. It's about understanding how to work with sound so that you can be you. That is the goal. That's the goal. And it sounds
hmm
like that's kind of happening for you, JP, which makes me really happy.
hmm Yes, I mean, and it's when you say to people that you're helping them do the music that they want to do, I can validate that this is correct. And I've been watching what's happening on your forum and how people are supporting each other. You created a really nice community. But if I speak about myself, you know, as someone that is known to do a lot of sound design, or like designing the sound in a specific way, or approaching like how to create an atmosphere,
Yeah.
I've always felt really free in how I wanted to approach that. But there was something missing. There was some kind of barrier that was lacking, that it kind of unblocked with working with you. And last night, again, I listened to an artist that I was listening to a lot before joining your class, that before it was like really puzzling me how it was done, his music. And last night I decided to listen to it after a few years. And like everything that was happening, I was just like, oh, he did this and he did that and he did this and he did that. And I was like, okay, now I think I get it.
I love that.
Just just like um this summer, I was at the point where was this, I don't know where I was, but there was a sound of a outside refrigerator, and it was making this,
Hmm.
and then I froze there, and I was just like listening to that sound, trying to analyze like what kind of noise, what kind of modulation, and I was checking the filter, like everything was just happening, and my son was like, "Papa, what are you
What?
doing?"
Why are we listening to the
Yeah,
refrigerator? I
yeah,
love
it was like
that.
it's nice.
Oh, that's amazing. Okay, so this is so good. I'm curious. I mentioned at the beginning that one of the goals for these interviews is to, help bridge that gap for other people. So, can you
Mhm.
talk a little bit about what has been most helpful for you, whether that was a shift in mindset or something
Mm.
technical that you've done? What, what insight can you provide in your journey that might help someone else learning this?
Yeah, I mean, it's difficult to gather all my thoughts the about what happened in the last almost year, that we've been working together. But I think as someone that creates music, uh, it's about, like one thing that I've always been interested in when I make music is about self-expression and being able to really encapsulate an emotion and be able to showcase it, or to really grab a technical proposition of something very abstract and then try to create a story with that.
Yeah.
And before joining your class, I was stuck on where I wanted to go next with my music. And through your class and through the different examples and exercises that you had, I gathered all these block of information that I practiced, and I was recording through the year, like little glimpse of 1 minute long of me noodling around with
Hmm.
stuff, and sometimes 5 minutes, sometimes 10 minutes. And what the trigger is when I joined the VIP class, where we had these more uh, little calls where we were discussing. Uh, it, there was a big click in my mind in terms of modulation and envelopes, and how my music is just a series of envelopes just waving together and kind of unfolding. And I came to the conclusion that uh, when I make music, I want to feel free and not just be stuck in an arranger mode where I'm just going to be mouse clicking some stuff. I'll get there to maybe at some point, but that's not the core
Okay.
of what I want to do. So, I mean, it's difficult to pinpoint like one thing about your course, but I think I'm seeing it from a meta, like a
Sure.
step back as a global uh, source of educational content, which really brought me back to myself and what do I want to do. Because as an artist, I think it's easy, especially in electronic music, to get lost in the technicalities of things.
Yeah.
But when it's about like connecting within yourself and using the technology as something that fuels your expression, I think it takes time, but you're providing all the blocks of information to get there if you practice
I love
and
that.
if you're open as well.
Yeah,
So
absolutely.
that's a really long reply
It's
to your question.
and I love it. Thank you. And I'm going to
Okay,
take
great.
one little bit that you said toward the end. I just want to amplify to make sure people are hearing, which
Yes.
is that we can get so lost in the technicality, the technology, what do I use? How does it work? And what you just said that I want to echo is that it's really important to ask yourself, like, what do you want to do?
Yes.
What do you want to do? What kind of music do you want to make?
Yes, 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 yes. And the breakthrough for me was when I sent you an email, a personal message, and I said, because this mentorship that we had, and I have to confess that it was incredibly intimidating to know that I would have access to your help. And all these questions kind of, there was a bottleneck of questions in my mind, but the filter out was about like 3 dB per octave, really like bandpass, like, so no question would go through. Yeah, this is
Mhm.
really a nerdy answer.
I love
But
it.
you said to me, you said, what do you want? Like what you want to say, what you want, what would feel good? And I was just like, damn, like why did I never ask myself that, right? What does it feel good in music? Um, and it's really I just want to finish this thing with one comment, which is a lot of people are freaking out with AI coming up. Like you say something to AI and it just spits out like finished songs and ideas, and
Sure.
people are like, well, you won't need sound design or synthesis if the AI is going to do it for you. And I'm like, yeah, it can do it for me, but it's not fun. The journey
Right.
of creating
Yeah.
is amazing, and
Right.
that's something that you teach, which is another like thing that you taught me that I really love. You said, I want to control 2 parameters at a time and play with that and see how it feels when I just go like, I'm gonna put my one goes there and then one goes here and then like that and then two at the same time. Like
Yep.
all these interactions change the sound. Like, what do I hear if I go fast? What do I hear if I go slow? And
Exactly.
all these things, AI
Right.
is just like
Right.
stepping above that.
Yeah.
So yeah,
That's great.
big end. Yeah.
So Here's the thing, everyone watching and listening. Also, thank you for being here. Also, JP, you have a whole bunch of really sweet fans from Montreal who are chiming in the chat saying that you are the best ever. So thanks for being here.
Oh.
But here's the thing, everyone. Ask yourself this question: what would feel good to create? What do you love? This is not where I was expecting
Hmm.
this conversation to go, but I am so happy it went here. When you're at a crossroads and you're like, is this right? When you're getting in your head, will anyone like this? Is this a good sound? Am I doing it correct? Blah, 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 blah. Pause, take a breath, and come back to like, how can I make this fun? And like, what do I love? Right. And if you can answer those questions and follow those answers, you will make better music and you will have a better time. And yes, it might reveal to you that there are some things you need to learn. Like your answer might be, I really want to do this and I'm missing some technical skills. That's great. Now you have a path. Now you know exactly what to do, right?
Hmm.
But follow the things that you love and ask yourself these questions frequently because they won't lead you in the wrong direction. And JP, it's been so amazing working with you because I've seen you asking and answering these questions for yourselves and have for yourself and having all of these like breakthroughs where you're like, oh my God, I just made music and it's so different and it feels so good. And so I just want to congratulate you for that. It takes a lot of, courage to kind of look inward instead of outward.
Thank you. And thank you. And I think like what's the beauty of this is in the last week I've been working on a new ambient album, and it's just a collection of all the exercises that I've been doing with your exercises and stuff. So it's going to be a beautiful textural ambient album that I will partly dedicate to you what I've done with you, and I'll send you a link, of course, that you can listen. Hopefully,
Yes.
you will enjoy it.
Please tell us how we can follow you. Where can people find you? Are you going to share that album on Bandcamp when you have it ready, or what do you think?
Yes, yes, of course. Uh, I have a
I have your
Bandcamp,
band.
which is my artist name, Pheek,
Yep.
at on Bandcamp. So if you search for Feek, you'll find me. If you just Google Feek, you'll find me. There's a bunch of links on Spotify and other streaming sites, as well as yes, as well as my website where I have a blog, and it's a blog about music production mostly. So it's audioservices studio. Yes, I almost forgot. And in there, you can also book me if you want to book some audio engineering as
Awesome.
well. So all these things are the online access of where to find me if you're interested in following me.
Perfect. Please, y'all, go follow JP. There's a lot of good stuff happening. A lot of good stuff to come. I'm so excited to hear your album. I want to quickly throw this link up on the chat, not on the chat, but on the screen too, soundandsynthesis.com/waitlist. This is the place to go. If you have been listening to this conversation and you're thinking, oh my God, that sounds great. I want to join that class. I want to be in that community. We want you to be in the community too. It's a great place to be. It's full of supportive people. Everyone's a beautiful nerd. And I say that with so much love. If you're one of my students and you're hearing that, know I say that with so much love and respect.
Nerds
Um,
are cool.
Nerds are so cool. Come be a
Yes,
nerd.
of course.
It's a modular synthesis and sound design program that will teach you how to make music with synthesizers of any kind and how to design your own custom sounds from scratch and how to get really, really in touch with your ability to hear and listen so that you can also reverse engineer the sounds that you hear and analyze them and understand them and work with them and build them up from scratch. So yeah, you can go hop on the wait list. That will give you priority access when we open enrollment in February. That's the next time it opens. So yeah, do that if you feel like you want to. And send me a message if you have questions. I'm happy to answer any questions about the course, how it works, if it's the right fit for you, anything like that. Don't be shy. Send me a message. JP, I want to wrap up by handing it back over to you. Is there anything else you want to say? This could be a word of wisdom for someone or anything that's on your heart that you just want to say as we wrap up.
You're putting a lot of pressure on me right now.
Sorry, no pressure. You've already
No,
said so many good things.
I'm joking. I just want to say that one thing that I also that I've you inspired me to do is these we do these listening events in Montreal that also inspired by some events of listening that was happening in Budapest. And I really encourage people to invite friends at home
Mhm.
and to do listening events of the music that you love. Hanging out at home, it's not just being on your phone and drinking or watching sports. You can also listen to music just like you watch a movie and really pay attention. And I this is like something I encourage people to do more and more. We need that in our lives, especially when you love music, inviting people over, listening to music, and just talking about stuff you love. I think it's very important. And
Yes.
we really need to pay attention to music we love and cultivate that as musicians, but also music lovers. It's something important, and it's something that unfortunately we're losing a little bit with time. And it's related and unrelated to what you do, but I think it's something as a musician, I really encourage people to do.
Yes, I love that. Thank you for sharing that. Take some time to listen, even if you're online and you're just listening at the same time, with a friend. That can be powerful. Take some time to do that. And I want to bring it full circle by saying, as you're listening to things, don't forget to listen also to yourself.
Yes.
Listen inwardly, listen to your ideas, trust your ideas, and follow the sounds that you love, because that's always going to lead you in the right direction.
And
Mm.
read the book of Pauline Oliveras
Okay,
about deep listening.
I'll put that really quickly on the screen here. Pauline,
Super important.
if anyone
I'll,
wants me to send you a link, just send me a DM. But here's her
where is
name,
it?
Pauline Oliver. JP's running here. There's the
I
link.
had it around, but I can't find it.
That's okay. Deep Listening, Composer's Sound Practice. It's a really great book. I've got it on my shelf somewhere here too. But anyway, just Google her. Send me a DM if you want me to send you a direct link to the book. I will do that. Um, it's a good one for sure.
Yep.
Okay. Thank you, Jay.
Thank you.
Congratulations again. I really can't wait to hear all of the music that you're going to create. So please don't be shy. Send me that email. Tell me all about it. Let me celebrate it with you. And yeah, I can't wait to hear what you do. So thank
Thank
you.
you so much, Sarah.
Everyone watching and tuning in live, thank you so much for being here. If you're catching the replay, leave a comment. Let us know what your biggest takeaway was from this conversation. And we'll see you at the next LSS Spotlight interview. That's it. Take care, everyone. Bye for now.